Hi everybody, it's David Fleming here from the Toronto Realty Group, and welcome back to this week's Pick 5. Now I have noticed a trend in my Pick 5s. It seems the ones on condos seem to get a little bit more interest. I don't know why that is. Maybe it has something to do with the demographic of folks that are looking at $4 million houses in Humber Valley Village. Maybe they're not online looking at videos of condos. So having said that, I think today's is going to be a lot of fun. If you're already watching this, you read the title, you know that it is going to be about Leslieville hard lofts. Now, I'm going to date myself for a moment. By that I mean I'm going to take me out to dinner. No, I'm going to date myself and say that when I was getting started in the business way back in 2004, hard lofts were all the rage. What ended up happening was developers started to say, we should build lofts from scratch. And they called those soft lofts, of course. And you can think of a soft loft like Mozo 333 Adelaide. It's loft-like because it has high ceilings. Then you got into things that had like exposed ductwork and unfinished ceilings. And developers were like, this is amazing. They want this place to be raw and jagged. We're going to save money. But what ended up happening was over time, I think the cream rises to the top. And there were so many really crappy like faux lofts built that people have reverted back to the hard loft. They want the brick, they want the beam. And today we're going to look at 5 hard lofts, specifically in Leslieville. Some of these are absolutely iconic buildings. They are all conversions. So for those of you that are novices, a hard loft is something that was converted from an existing space. A soft loft was built. Now within hard lofts, you have the brick and beam. So you think about something like 24 Noble Street. And then you have the Art Deco, which is a conversion from something like the Toy Factory or Tip Tops. But you also have our buildings that are half hard loft, half soft loft. Think Toy Factory. The first 4 floors, they're brick and beam. They built up over top of it. The same thing at Tip Top Taylor's, and of course the same thing in one that we're going to look at today. So excuse the long intro, guys, but let's get started. We're going to go down here. We're going to look at 68 Broadview. Now, once upon a time, this was probably among the top 5 hard lofts in the city of Toronto. 68 Broadview was built in 2007, all the way back, if you can believe it. It's 6 stories, it's 162 units. Now this is $789,900 for a 1-bed plus 1 at 820 square feet. I'll say this, if you're anywhere in Toronto and you're selling an 820 square foot 1-bedroom for $789,000, good luck. But not here, because this is a hard loft. This is different, this is special, this is unique. Now if you look at the first photo, this is what I meant when I said the addition. So this section here and then this section here are added onto. So this would be the soft loft section, which happens to be some of the best units in the penthouse, but these are the ones with the brick and beam. And when I said brick and beam, this is what I meant. When I said good luck if you have $789,000 for 820 square feet unless you have this, this is absolutely iconic. And you have to remember that the way this is laid out with the furniture and the photography, we do that as listing agents and as sellers to bring people in. What this would look like if it had nothing in it is like, huh, where am I? Am I like I'm in a studio somewhere? Like someone's gonna get an easel and a paintbrush and come out and start Bob Rossing it? But that's what it is. It's a raw, gritty, unfinished space that has unbelievable beauty. This yellow brick, these timber beams and ceilings, the exposed ductwork here, this is what people kill for when they look for something in Toronto of the hard loft variety. Now, kitchen looks original. We can paint those cabinets, not stainless steel appliances, not the end of the world, but you're buying the square footage here. There's no outdoor space. It's one big room essentially. And you know, you can divide the room, like this looks like something aftermarket. And okay, so it's not completely open. So let's put up a little bit of a wall here and yeah, we'll apportion for the dining room. But in this market, if any condo is gonna sell, it's going to be a hard loft like this. So I've always admired this building, and you know, $789,000, look, I don't know, the condo market's tricky. Who's to say that this is or isn't worth it? But yeah, I mean, once upon a time, this is probably $1 million. It was. I've had units in here that are similar size. I've had units both on the buy side that have got a ton of offers and on the sell side as well. I had a unit in here for listing once that I had 14 offers on. So there's your bathroom. And there you've got, so these are the common areas. So this is what I mean by a soft loft. So this is poured concrete, as is this. This looks loft-like, but this is what I mean by soft loft. So this is the party room, and good on this listing agent for getting all these photos, because many of them don't. It's a very well done listing. And then they've got outside, right? Here's the courtyard. And you might not think this should be in here. You got a drone shot too, really, really good. In this market, you got to pull out all the stops. And good for them for getting the drone up in the air and taking these aerial shots. But this is an iconic building. This is absolutely gorgeous. This is hard loft living at its finest. So I absolutely love this one. And we are rocking and rolling here because I don't know if there's anything oh no, oh man, oh boy. Okay, if you have a minute, Google 201 Carlaw Avenue, David Fleming. So this was probably around 2013, 2014. The building was new, and I went there with a buyer who purchased conditionally and then had her lawyer review the status certificate. What we found in the building at the time, because these issues are cleared up, but what we found at the time, 12 or 13 years ago, major financial problems in the building. So I did what anyone would do. I wrote about it on Toronto Realty blog. And if you're Googling it right now, you can see not only the article I wrote and the 150 nasty, angry comments, but then I think it was Carolyn Ireland from the Globe and Mail wrote something called Rough Ride for a Toronto Condo Critic. She wrote an article about me writing about the building. It caused a massive scandal because the people in the building, they didn't want anyone to know. And they felt by me writing about it that it was wrong. My argument at the time was, what about a food critic? He goes to your restaurant, he says, I didn't really like it. I mean, should he go to jail? What about a movie critic? I wrote about the building. What happened was, it's a conversion. So it didn't have certain Tarion warranties that when you have issues are paid for. There were issues in the building did not have the money to cover it. They took out a massive loan to do the repairs which were necessary. And then that loan had a huge balloon payment due 6, 7 years in the future. And guess what happened? The CMHC blacklisted the building. You could not buy in the building if you needed CMHC insurance. You needed 20% down. So I wrote about this on my blog. Everyone in the building went crazy. And then people were, so if you comment on my blog, I can see the IP address. So someone would comment and then they would write back to their own comment under the same IP. They'd be like, David Fleming is the worst agent in the world and he's a liar and he doesn't know. And then that person would write back and be like, yeah, I heard this. And people still comment to this day, someone wrote something like, David Fleming is currently before the courts, and it just is silliness. Anyways, so listen, I love this building, I do. But in 2014, things happened that were facts, and I wrote about it. It's been a long time, the financial issues have been cleaned up, but that was indeed a very, very rough ride. Okay, so 201 Carlaw. This is called the Printing Factory. Oh man, even when I said Printing Factory, I was getting flashbacks. So this building was built in 2010. It's 8 stories, it's 256 units, and as you can see, guys, this is a conversion with a new portion built on top. And I'm gonna be honest with you, sorry if I'm belaboring this, when we were walking through the building in 2013, 2014 with my client, there was a bucket catching water dripping. And you might be like, David, why did you sell it to your client? It was $299 for a 1-bedroom. We had a conditional offer anyways. I was like, oh, maybe that just happened today. A bucket catching water dripping, that should have been my first clue. So I love this building. I'm getting you in today to show you this. The unit itself looks like it could maybe use, see, look at this. You talk about hard lofts, look at this. You absolutely cannot replicate this. But once we get in, it's kind of plain. Not a lot to it. This is on the 4th floor. This is the soft loft portion. So what are the hallmarks of lofts? Big picture windows, open concept spaces, high ceilings, and then that kind of raw, gritty. This is a concrete floor, but it's got an epoxy finish. It's really nice. But what this unit doesn't have is any furniture, any love, any character, any warmth, any marketing, any soul. It's very, very basic. And I feel bad for the unit, the owner, the agent, everybody involved, because this thing is a lot better than what it looks. Now, maybe it's tenanted. Maybe there was a certain reason that they couldn't do anything more than this, but it's got a great outdoor space. And they've tried, they've taken photos of, obviously, right, here's the heritage plaque. And then got a nice shot of the exterior mixed with, right, a beautiful old photo of what this was before it was residential living. And it's pretty cool, right? This is the printing factory. Those are men on printing presses. But the unit doesn't show exceptionally well. So what was the unit? Because I glossed over it when I kind of talked about I was getting letters to Bosley saying that they should fire me. People were writing, and I got copies of these, and people were like, having been in contract law for 28 years, you need to understand. It was and our manager at the time was like these people are just, anyways, you'd never see that today. Can you imagine today people getting in trouble for putting their opinion on the internet? So yeah, all right, 878, 2-bed, 2-bath, 919 square feet. But guys, hang on just 1 second. So you can see they bought it for $645 in 2016. They came up in 2025 after we'd rolled off the peak, looked for 1.3, dropped it to 1.2, then they're at 1.1, then 99, now 878. So it probably looks this way in the photos because it's tenanted, they couldn't get any great photos. 878 for 919 square feet, absolute beauty. But the unit itself needs some life, needs some love. You need a designer. It's a phenomenal space. It's got great windows, but as you saw from the photos, there's just not a lot of love, and you're gonna have to be the one to put it in there. Okay, so let's go to the next one. We're getting into some real interesting lofts now. Seems to be a lot on Carlaw. 150 Logan unit 409. I have a story about this one. So first of all, love this unit, absolutely. It is a glorified one bedroom, which is maybe why it's not selling. But guys, first let's look at the photos. I'm not gonna bore you with all of the other stuff. Okay, this is the Wonder Lofts. This is a hard loft. Look at the red brick, look at the big windows, look at the ceiling height. So here's where you come in through the front, and you can see you step down. It's not below grade or anything like that, it's just a step down. Then you've got what's here, as I said, a glorified one bedroom. This is a bedroom. But they've converted it. It's got all of these really beautiful built-ins, and it's kind of, you know, office-like. But maybe the reason it's not selling is because it kind of feels not like a traditional two-bedroom. That, to me, is what makes it unique. Now, here's your dining room. Is it too close to your stairs? Maybe the flow you don't love. Here's that bedroom, as I mentioned, and they've done a glass wall. It's not drywall. If you need the bedroom for, I don't know, a nursery or a child, fine, it's not for you. But as far as unique lofts go, this is an incredible space. So living space, not huge as I mentioned, but they've turned that second bedroom in here, right, into a TV area. And then they have the den, which is on the other side. Let me go to that. I think that's where their TV is. See this here? So they've put this up as a 2-bed plus 1. And I said it's kind of a glorified 1-bed. You have this massive bedroom on the top level. Then you've got your office here, your TV room here. So maybe it's just too personal in terms of layout for how these folks wanted to use it. But my God, for $1,250,000, is this a phenomenal unit? So I saw this a while back. It's on, I think it's third listing, maybe another agent. Boy, there's a lot of photos. We'll keep going through these. So it's staged a little bit differently than when I saw it. So there's the bedroom upstairs, okay? And then you look out to the space below. Because I think when I saw it, the TV was in that little den, and I believe now they've staged it with a bed. So upstairs, massive closet, massive bathroom, super private, right? You've got your bedroom up top looking down over your living space below. And then if you need that second bedroom, you can use that, right? So this is what I mean. So that's the den, which originally when this thing was up for sale had a TV area in here. And that was obviously how the owners used it. So somebody's taken this listing over and said, oh, we need to attract people. We need to put a bed in there, but let's get in. Like, look at this. This is beautiful. But there's a target buyer for this that, you know, think about the lawyer or the banker that works from home. You know, and here's, what are those awards called when you guys do fundraising in private equity and you have those little, you know, this water filtration plant that you bought and you raised $275 million. You've got all those little glass sculptures. So you fill it with their, you know, if you're the lawyer, your law books, your legal texts. My dad had, man, growing up, his dream was a massive oak bookshelf for all of his books. Never open one of them. Do you look up precedents? Do you look up cases? They're in mint condition. It was $110 per book. I remember when we were moving out of that house, we had to pack them all up. To each their own. So you're the lawyer, you're the banker, you've got that home office. It's phenomenal. You've got the den if you want for the TV. Let's take a look. I'm gonna show you exactly what I'm talking about. This here, they've set this up with the bed. When I showed this the first time, this was the TV area. And then this one here, they've set this up in the floor plan with the bed, but you have these beautiful bookshelves for all of, you know, your Grishams and such. So bedroom upstairs, big walk-in. I'm gushing about this. I absolutely love this condo. Let me show you the history though, George. Seinfeld reference. Okay, 1795, 1675, 1575. This says 125. They came out at 1389. They're now 125. 1,478 square feet in a hard loft conversion. Where? 150 Logan. Maybe it's too close to Eastern. Guys, you're a block from the primest, is that a word? Stretch of Queen Street in the heart of Leslieville. I don't know, George. It's Tony. There's just no Russian bowling. I don't know, George. I don't know that there's a better condo in the city of Toronto right now. Okay, let's move on. There's another couples, which are a real doozy here. Garment Factory. So, $1,350,000. You tell me, this is $100,000 more than the last one. 1,286 square feet, the last one's 1,478. So there's $100,000 more for 200 square feet less. It's on Carlaw. Is it a better location? Is it a better building? The other one had two-story. Very different offering. Irrespective of price, let's just call them the same, right? So where was, right, Carlaw here? Okay, all right. That was where we were, Printing Factory, the building that ruined David's life. A guy actually emailed me and said, I just want to let you know you've ruined my life. I'll come back to that story later. I'll keep you in there. So down here on Logan, that was the Wonder Lofts. And then here we're up on Carlaw. Is there a difference in location? I don't know. So the unit itself, 2-bed, 2-bath, 1,286 square feet. Now, this is fully renovated from when they bought it. If you're looking up the history of it, you'll say, oh, they just bought this thing in, I can't remember. Well, it's a terrible story, Dave. But you can see the CN Tower there. You're high up enough here. You're on the 8th floor. And I believe there's a building built, it was either a printing factory or no, I think it was garment factory, that used to have all these CN Tower views, and like anything else in Toronto, a building goes up, you can't see it, but this one you absolutely can. So this is, as you can see up here, part of the addition. Hard loft here, hard loft here. This is the Wrigley Lofts, by the way. Never sold in there. I've been in the business 22 years. I don't know why, I've just never had someone connect with it. So in here, what have we got? Long entranceway, big, beautiful kitchen, living, dining. That's what you want in any loft. Big, beautiful kitchen, living, dining. Faux brick. Okay, that's not a real brick. We had a listing at 510 King Street where they did that. Great job. This was the kitchen reno. If you look back at the old listing, you'll see they did an unbelievable reno. I'm no designer, but these look like they're not IKEA. Oh, they're IKEA? Oh, they're Dollarama? What do I know? But seriously, no, their furniture's amazing. I'm going to hazard a guess that this belongs to the owner. I think sometimes when you have a classy as hell, can you say classy as hell? Does it undermine the classiest part of it? You have a classy as hell renovation, you got classy as hell furniture and decor. So that, right? There's your shot. We got it, guys, we got it. That's your shot right there, your living space. Your big picture window, you can see the city, you're looking out over the trees, floor to ceiling glass. That's what loft living's all about. So what do you think? Do you like this versus the Wonder Lofts? The Wonder Lofts. My mind's racing. Who are the Wonders? Remember that movie? That Thing You Do? The Oneaters? It's the Wonders. Why'd you spell it O-N-E, the Oneaters? Sorry guys, that's how my mind works. It's really hard to live in my brain for more than 5 minutes. Great film though, Liv Tyler and Tom Hanks, says Isabel. No, who was the other guy? The younger guy, and then he was in Boiler Room. That's my jam. Okay, Tom Hanks, thank you. So here's a look into the second bedroom. We saw that obviously from the view before, looking past the very, very nice decor, and there it is, sliding door. Very good photography, whoever listed that's great. It's a simple thing. But why not show a photo of the door open and the door closed just to let people know? I mean, you could probably do that during a video, but okay, outdoor space, this is what I meant. We have a clear view of the downtown core. This was the building I mentioned that was built, that's 88 Colgate. So when I said that you used to have a great CN Tower view from Printing Factory, which is south of here, and the first few floors, then they built what is a 6-story building. So no, we're 8 stories, and I don't know, I think that's a barbecue. I hope it's not an air conditioner. I'm gonna sound really silly, but there is your view. This is the building I mentioned that's blocking the Printing Factory views. You can see the CN Tower, you can see downtown. Really great photos here. Love this. Drones are so hot right now. And there you've got your nice little outdoor set. It was a barbecue. Perfect. Thank you. It was Tom Everett Scott. It just came to me. That was his name. He played Michael in Boiler Room. He was the lead singer. No, he was the drummer in That Thing You Do. Lead singer was Jimmy Mattingly. Oh my God, I pulled it out. Guys, you gotta watch That Thing You Do this weekend. So, 135. We showed you the Wonder Lofts, it was 125. Which one do you prefer? Let's say this is 125 for argument's sake, which one do you prefer? Because as I mentioned, there is a difference in location, to each their own there. I mean, the Wonder Lofts is across from a massive storage depot. I think people would rather have Carlaw as the location. The Wonder Lofts is newer. The Wonder Lofts has better amenities. The Wonder Lofts is bigger. The Wonder Lofts is cheaper. But, you know, this is a true 2-bedroom. Maybe it has a more workable floor plan for what you're looking for. Okay, so let's go to the last one, which is a doozy. This is as hard loft as they come. This is 326 Carlaw. This is called the I-Zone. Now, the benefit and issue of units in here is they're often both commercial and residential. Now, what's interesting about this building, years ago, I'm walking through here with a young lady that's like, I want to live in a hard loft. And you're walking through, and next door to the hard loft we're looking at is like a guy drilling sheet metal because it's a, you know, it's a loft. That was what these originally were. So there's a sheet metal worker next door, then there's the beautiful loft that you want to see, and then next door, there's a music studio. And then down the Then there's really Jimmy, he lives down there. He's a really cool dude. And across from Jimmy, there's a photography studio. So some people love that gritty, urban, raw vibe. And then some people are like, actually, this is a bad idea. I just wanted to be able to live here. So you've got to check it out within that building, whether or not these units, the one you're looking at, is commercial or residential or commercial residential. And then you've got to know who's on your floor and what they're doing. So this unit here, this is probably one of the coolest hard lofts you're gonna find anywhere. So you have your timber ceilings, right? You have your exposed ductwork, you have your steel beams going across, and you've got your epoxied floors. This stuff here obviously is very new, it's aftermarket. This wasn't in the original, whatever this was, I don't know, 150 years ago or something like that. But, herringbone floor, let's go back to this. Like, you got a herringbone floor on a hard loft, like that's, pretty cool. And you go back here, right? You've got your polished concrete floor. Beautiful kitchen. Now you might say the ceiling's a bit low. This is what happens in some of these buildings. I was at a place at 183 Dover Court. It's a pizza place across the corner. And it was a similar situation where you've got, let's say, a 18-foot floor to ceiling rise. But then if you want to build a half level, well, now it's 9 feet in your kitchen, or let's say it's 8 feet in your kitchen because you've got 10 feet on the loft. A lot of times, this area feels so high that when you go under into the kitchen, it feels like it's lower than it actually is. So just keep that in mind as we go back through. There's your herringbone, there's your rooftop terrace, back to the kitchen. So absolutely gorgeous. This is what, 2,500 square feet? Units like this do not come along very often. So if this was, 2022, red hot market, yeah, this is the kind of thing you're literally cold calling and door knocking to try to find for your client. I'm gonna typecast. You've got, your crypto kid. He made it. He's got the Ferrari for now. He's probably going to end up losing it later. You've got that, or you've got, your startup guy, that's a photo of the floor. Cool. Your .com guy, but, or you have like, I don't know, your Playboy with daddy's money. And I've had those both male and female, not judging. There's a lot of money in this city, but this is the kind of unit where when you get somebody that's like, I have a $2 million budget, I want something ridiculously cool. I don't want a house. I don't want cookie cutter. I don't want to be in the 57th floor of La Bullshit Tower. Can I swear? I'm so sorry. I was thinking Bisha, and then I got the sh involved, but it is kind of bullshit. So like a tower like that like when they built it, and it was like, oh, it's got a cool name, and there's a restaurant in the main floor, and there's some celebrity chef, and then they sell it for $2,000 a foot, and it's like, cool. I have an 800 square foot condo for $1.6 million, and I'm across from the Sky Dome. This is different. This is unique, this is amazing. So if you, no matter whether this is today or whether this is 2022, are looking for that ridiculously unique $2 million condo, this is it. Was this listed at $2 million? I think it is. Look at this, you got a table above your skylight. What could be cooler than that? I'm not trashing Bisha, I don't know. I would never sell there. I'd never have somebody that's like, hey, can you recommend a great place to live? I'm like, yeah, 781 Peter Street. There's just so much trash downtown. So, okay, 195, 2,500 square feet, 375 square foot terrace. And so this is 326 Carlaw. Okay, so this is, right here you had 201 Carlaw. That's the printing factory. That's where David got in trouble. Then you had 233 Carlaw. That's the garment factory. Then you had the Wrigley Lofts over here. You had 88 Colgate was the newer building over here blocking 201 Carlaw. And then you had 326 Carlaw, the I-zone. I'm gonna have a heart attack here. Was that your favorite? I mean, for $2 million, yeah, I would think so. But you look back and let's go, is it gonna go to map? No. 68 Broadview, absolutely iconic, pushing 20 years now, beautiful brick and beam. Then you've got 201 Carlaw. They might have had some problems. We might have written about it on our blog. 150 Logan, the Wonder Lofts. I just love that unit. It is just so cool. 233 Carlaw, that's neat. And you've got a great city view if that's your thing. And then 326 Carlaw, which is probably one of the most unique lofts that you're going to find in the city of Toronto. 90 Sumac, very off topic here, but 90 Sumac, the brewery lofts. I believe that was an old CBC prop warehouse. That's, again, where you're going to find some of the unique lofts anywhere. But 326 Carlaw right now, I would say, is probably it. So, you doing that thing you do. It's the movie. Go and watch That Thing You Do. That's the way my brain works. I apologize. I don't remember how we got onto that. But yeah, I might watch that with my daughter or something like that. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this walk down memory lane, among other things. This look at hard lofts, the very off-key singing there by myself. We can look at hard lofts anywhere in the city of Toronto. When I sat down to do this, I started looking on the east side. And the next thing I thought, let's just specify Leslieville. 4 of them are on Carlaw. If we had one at the Wrigley Lofts, we could have done, you ready for this, hard lofts in Leslieville on Carlaw, right? We almost got it. We got 4 to 5. Guys, thanks so much for watching. As always, feel free to drop me a comment in the YouTube section about, I don't know, Tom Hanks movie trivia. If you want to get Pick 5 emailed to you every week, please go to torontorealtyblog.com/pick5 and sign up. We'll send you an email every Thursday when we launch. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a fantastic weekend, and we'll see you next week. Bye for now.